Hi there, this is Brett from GameByte.
And this is Vicky from GameByte.
And today we are talking about Life is Strange 2, a game that I got to play at Gamescom, which I was really excited to because I'd played the original in 2015 and really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favourite games of the year. And it had its problems, but it told such a lovely story, and it showed that the team behind the game could really tell a story where you connect to the world around you. Even though Life is Strange 2 doesn't have Chloe and Max returning, it has like completely new people in it. I was hopeful that it would still match that again, and from the demo I played, it seems they're going to be close to it. I don't know if the dynamic's going to ever be as tight as Max and Chloe, but you know, Max and Chloe were sort of one-off sort of thing that you can't just keep replicating that again and again. And also it's a completely different dynamic. These are two best friends, whereas this, it's a young brother and an older brother that they're trying to create the dynamic around. And for the most part, from what I saw in the demo, it was done well. It definitely worked up that whole older sibling, younger sibling thing to a degree that I imagine's fine. Like, as a single child, I don't really have that sort of connection, I suppose. But the scene starts basically, and you walk in on your little brother arguing with your dad in like a playful way, not in like a vengeful way, just about getting the last piece of chocolate for him. And it's just like a nice bit of like family banter going on, whilst like the dad's like, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do this, who should have the chocolate? And I sided with like the little brother because I thought, like, let him have it, he's only young, he'll enjoy it more, sort of thing, which was cute. It was a cute little interaction, and that's what, and I know when like we talk about video games, it's like, and explosions happened and it was amazing, but like Life is Strange isn't that kind of game.
No.
Life is Strange is very much just like really cute interactions that make you care about people, and instantly from like this starter point, it was like, the dad seems really nice, the older brother seems fine. He sort of didn't have much of a personality at that point, so he was obviously there whilst this conversation was happening, and the little brother seemed like a cute little brother. From that moment, it's a case of, oh, I'm going to this Halloween party, I need to make sure I've got everything prepared.
So are you playing as the older brother?
Yeah, so you were the older brother in the demo I played. I don't know if you'll switch as you play through the game, but I imagine you're probably playing as the older brother for the entirety. And he seems like a decent character. Like, one thing I always liked about Max in the original Life is Strange is she started very much like an everyman sort of character. So like, it felt that she didn't have much of a personality, and then you got to shape her personality to become this like quite strong, confident woman, and it was like a nice journey to go on. Whereas there does seem to be much more personality here with the lead character, but you still get to shape it in certain ways. Like, I went downstairs and found my dad working on a car, and basically tried to ask him, oh, can I have some money for this party I'm going to? And he asked me whether or not I would be spending it on drugs and drink, or whether I'd just be like buying snacks. And you know, me being nice, I was like, I'm just buying snacks, Dad. And he was like, well, if you're just buying snacks, you won't need the £40 I'd be giving you to buy drugs and drinks, so I'll just give you $20 instead. And it's like, the thing is like,
well played, Dad, well played.
That's the thing, it's just like really nice interactions where it's like no one at this moment in time was coming across as a prick, and it was just like cute. It was cute interactions between family members, and it made you just care more about them. And after that happened, I went and explored the like place a bit more, and it was like, oh, what should I take from the fridge to take to the party? Should I take this beer or should I take this Coke? And it was a case of like, I took the Coke because I'm a wuss. And
this is going very linear so
far. And you know, who knows what would have happened, because the demo sort of ends after this scene anyway. It's a case of you can't see what would have happened if I picked another object. There was like choices to be like, I'm going to take the unhealthy snack, or I'm going to take the nice snack, and it was just trying to get everything. And in the original Life is Strange as well, there were nice moments where you could play as Max and sort of find these spots you can take photos of. And rather than taking photos, the main character in two sketches areas or sketches things. So like, I sat down in my bedroom and basically like did a little sketch of the bedroom. It was just like a nice touch to it. And then as the game progressed and I found a few more bits of the things I needed to take to the party, I ended up on a webcam call with a friend, and you know, it's just yet again a really cute conversation that the little brother comes in and like interrupts, and it's like him just being annoying. And you do the typical thing as a big brother, being like harsh, but not like so harsh that you're being like a terrible human. But what I liked about this conversation is the conversation was happening, and obviously in first person games, when dialogue's happening, you can obviously run about and just not pay attention to it. And the way that they sort of did this in this is you could look at other things and sort of do them whilst the conversation was happening. So I decided to like sketch the person I was talking to at one point, because there was an option with a notepad near me that I could like sketch on it. Or at other points I was like checking my Twitter account and stuff like that. It was just like, it created an interesting sort of way for a conversation to be told. But
Yeah,
if
so you feel like you're more in control of the game rather than it being very linear.
And it felt more natural as well, like because we're all terrible people in this day and age that we can't just listen to a conversation. So it's like it made sense that I was looking at other things whilst this was happening. And this started to culminate into basically your little brother had gone outside whilst this had happened, and an argument had started for some reason. And the reason this argument had started is this concerate blood mix he'd made for his Halloween party thing that he was going to. He had got all over one of your neighbours. So you go outside and like try and calm the situation down, and the neighbour's just kicking off. It is during this confrontation that one of the main themes of what Life is Strange 2 is going to have sort of turned its ugly head, and it's a case of like there's going to be racial prejudice in there. The brothers are Mexican, so the guy starts shouting like, "Go back to your own country." It's all very awkward. Made more awkward because the bad guy's called Brett, and it's like the bad guys always are called Brett, and it's like, I'm the lovely person, and yeah, it's sad.
As is evident by the choices of coke and not drugs.
Yeah, precisely, nicest guy you'll know. But yeah, this Brett, absolute prick. Stuff escalates further, which then gets cops involved. I'm going to try and be as vague as possible here to like not give away exactly what happens in the scene, but yeah, cops get involved. Things start going a bit crazy, and then basically it turns out that, much like in the first Life is Strange, where Max had a superpower that could turn back time or pause time, it seems the superpower in this, at least one of them, is going to be just causing destruction, which is probably a bit less useful than pausing time. But yeah, basically this massive explosion thing happens, really destroys everywhere, and it was just really unexpected and made me want to play more, which luckily I will get to play more because it's out in September, at least the first episode is. And that's what I found interesting about the game. Like in one chapter so much stuff had happened. This might not have even been the end of this scene. It could have carried on even further. And they've introduced an interesting family that you care about and you want to find out more about. They've introduced the mechanic that will be obviously causing the supernatural element of the game, and they've obviously introduced a conflict that's going to show you sort of like the problems that are going to address themselves. And I feel this isn't giving away too much because it is sort of shown in the trailers, but now the brothers are on the run from the law because of stuff that's happened. So it sort of, in a very small space of time, sets up this epic journey that these two brothers are going to go on, and also sort of shows the completely different sort of style of story they're going to go down. Whereas Max and Chloe was very much about friendship and love, this will obviously still be about friendship and love, but from a brotherly perspective, and I feel that's a positive. I feel that's a story that needs to be told as well. The main character is an absolute geek, and that's great. Like, there's a part where I found where I could basically like look in the bathroom mirror and basically like pretend to do chat up lines to try and flirt with people. And it's just like the typical just like awkward person being like, "Hey, how you doing?" And just like he's just instantly like lovable and you care about them, and it's nice having those sort of characters, and it's a positive to have those sort of characters rather than just like huge muscles just shouting at everyone sort of characters. And it'll be a good thing to see how well this is received when it does release in September, and I'm really excited to play more. I don't know how frequently they're going to be releasing the games, but you know, it took the best part of a year for all of Life is Strange to come out. I'm hoping it's going to be a bit quicker for all of Life is Strange 2 to come out, but I'm really excited to see it happen. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, turning on those notifications. But until next time, I've been Brett from GameByte.
And I've been Vicky from GameByte.
And you've been wonderful. Goodbye.